think I'm pretty task-oriented, so like if you tell me to do something, I'll be like, all right, let's go. I'm going to put all my effort into it. It still gets done. If I couldn't do something as it was RX, my desire within was to get to that point. And yeah, I went through many times where I was like, I just feel like defeated, but I'm not a quitter. So as much as I would feel kind of like, damn, this is hard, it was just like, now just stick with it, and you'll get it. Trust the process, all right? Just because you're not there now doesn't mean you won't be. Just stick with it and you will be. For work, I am a coach here at CrossFit North Scottsdale. I'm a level 3 certified CrossFit trainer. That is the actual name for it. I also specialize in gymnastics and kind of getting into tactical training as well. All right, 6:30, come on down. Come on closer, Sam. Don't be afraid, you're gonna be on camera. A little bit of a different strength piece we've got to start off with today. Different meaning just movements, we don't do that often. So we've got 3 sets of 20 inverted row for the guys, 14 for the ladies. Immediately into a minute to a minute and a half farmer hold. So we can try to strive for unbroken sets, right? But if that would be a good challenge to try to shoot for, but if you feel like that's a bit of an ask, let's just keep the breaks to a minimum. And then part 2, we've got front squats and strict handstand push-ups. Say approaching moderate, choose an approaching moderate weight for you that you can do those 10 reps unbroken. Handstand push-ups, couple options. It's 30 reps total, doesn't look like a lot, but it is 30. So maybe just a quick break in the beginning rounds just to avoid any type of burnout. If we need to modify the movement, let's work pike push-up on the floor or the box, or we can work dumbbell seated Z-press. So kind of pick one that's challenging for you. It could also be a combination of some. I need you to grab a kettlebell, kind of a moderate weight, and then bring it to the rig, all right, on this side. We're gonna do some line drills. Well, I didn't play the typical sports that most people play in school, like your field hockey and whatnot. I was an equestrian, so I was riding horses. So I started that at the age of 9. Just started taking lessons, kind of basic riding, and then by the time, this was English riding, and then by the time I was early teenager, I was competing, and then it just kind of took off. And then I was an active competitor up and down the East Coast until about 30 years old. We would just pass a horse farm on the way to school. My parents would drive me to school, and there was a big horse farm that we would see, and I would see the horses like outside in the field. So I was like, hey Mom, can we take lessons? Can I see what that's like? And she's like, sure. So I started, my sister got into it. I don't know if she regrets that because it literally just took off. When you say kind of looking graceful and like you're not really doing anything, or sometimes people are like, oh, the rider isn't doing anything up there. If a rider looks like that, if they look like nothing is happening, that is a superb rider, okay? And it kind of like goes to CrossFit too. If you look like everything's smooth and seamless and you're not really working that hard, you've just got such a good foundation and you just have so many reps under your belt that now it's just kind of second nature, so it just looks easy. Not that it is easy, but it looks that way. I mean, honestly, when I was competing, the riding itself, I mean, it just goes to show riding is not easy. Ton of core strength, back strength, legitimate farmer carries. That's kind of where the name comes from, like carry a bale of hay in each hand or water buckets. So not like your standard gym fitness, but like more functional real life fitness. That's all I would do, and I was able to ride without getting winded. All right, on that side, guys, with your bell. That side, with your bell. With your bell. I said that rig. Don't follow me, just do what I say. So big lunge, stay upright. We're gonna reach up and hands down. Give me a twist to the right, twist to the left, switch legs. I can't tell sometimes if you're like holding it and actually videoing. Kellen wins the warm-up. From New Jersey, so I was living out there, and I came out here to visit my mom, and we went to hike the Grand Canyon. So I had done no fitness leading up to that, and the Grand Canyon exposed my lack of fitness very quickly. Fine on the way down, struggle bus on the way up. I was with my mom and my sister. I had to stop and catch my breath and almost sit down on the ground, and my mom's like, here we go. I was like, damn, I need to get fitter. Yeah. This sucks. Yeah. So that was kind of my beginning of fitness, and I went into kickboxing first. So a heavy bag at a gym, just punching, kicking.
You do that again.
Okay, once we're back to this side, let's go and put your bells away. Find your partner and set up a bar on the rig for your inverted row. That's it. Remember when I showed you in the brief, you want your chest to touch? So bend your knees. Yep, scoot back a little bit. That way. Hips up. There you go. Now, that's because I was heavier. Started to clean up the diet too, because I realized that's part of it also. But then I was like, I don't really have any muscle. I want some muscle. So I didn't know how to do that. Like, I knew lifting weights gave you muscle, but I didn't know where to go. So I asked a friend of mine what they did for a workout, and they're like, oh, CrossFit. No idea what that was, but they're like, you'll like it. It's weightlifting, it's cardio, like everything together. 2013. She brought me or sent me to the gym that she was at. Now again, this is back in the east, so in New Jersey, middle of winter, so we're in January. I walk into the gym. It's just an old, abandoned warehouse. No heat. Windows were like broken, cobwebs everywhere. There weren't any mats on the floor, it was just cement. Just grungy. But I was like, I don't know what else. I didn't know what to compare it to, so this is CrossFit. We go in there, everyone was just kind of ready to work. And I remember the coach was like, all right, we're going to get warmed up. Head outside, 1 mile run. And I was like, dude, it's 30 degrees outside and there's snow on the ground. He didn't care. 1 mile run. That's actually what made me like it, though, because I was like, oh, this is like gritty. I do. It was Fran.
No.
I didn't know how to kip, obviously, but I had strict pull-ups.
No.
So I did strict pull-up thruster weight. It wasn't as heavy. It was lighter, probably just the barbell. But it took me like 14 minutes. But I just remember being like, I like this. I like that it was hard. I like that it took me longer than everybody else. Because I guess I kind of went into it thinking like, oh, I can do this. This is no problem. But I liked that. I liked that it was a challenge. Like in the beginning, the coach was like, you know, it's pull-ups and thrusters. And I'm like, all right, well, I can do pull-ups. Just thinking strict, and he's like thruster. I'm like, all right, well, I'll try the bar. But I remember about probably during the 21 pull-ups, I was like, fuck, we're gonna be here for a while. Like I had pull-ups, but not like that good. But yeah, I just remember feeling like, okay, this sucks, but liking it at the same time. More to that, the open. So that was January. So that February, my first open. I don't remember exactly what the workouts were. I do remember like some box jumps, some toes to bar, some random stuff, and I was really new to all that stuff. And again, I went into it thinking like, oh, I can do box jumps, so I can bring my toes to the bar. Oh man, that first workout though, like I don't think I finished any of them. I think overhead squats were in, so that was a new movement. The humbling aspect of not being able, of someone giving me something to do and not necessarily being able to do it, I was like, all right, we're gonna come for you now. I don't know, it was pretty right away. To be honest, it was when the coach was like, mile run out in the weather, like the cold, I was like, all right, this is the real deal. Like, I just like that. A combination of just the grittiness of it and the harder workout, like something that I wasn't really expecting. Like, I thought I could handle it, but I realized, oh, I need to work on this. Yeah. So the combination of that, that was kind of the moment where I was like, all right, we're stuck. All right, so with your bars. All right, let's establish a nice, good front rack. Okay, elbows are going to point toward me the best they can. 4 squats, no tempo, but still nice, controlled, good-looking reps. Elbows forward, eyes forward. The higher your butt, the harder it is. Make sure you shift over the wrists, top of the head to the floor, push through. Right? If we have these, give me about 3 to 4 if we're still working on them. Give me the down portion. Yeah, that looks good. I like. Sarah, bring your feet closer to your hands. Yep, you knew I was going to say it. And then we'll get started in a few minutes. Does my hair look lighter up here? I know somebody said today, and she's like, when did you get it done? Like 3 months ago. All right, let's get going. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Kettlebell. Jules. Job, Ange. Nice job, Rebo. Good job. Good job, Sarah. Nice push-ups, KK. Oh, thank you. Yeah, those are good. Did you do all of them? Like 10, 8, 6, 4, 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
Excellent.
So you probably could have done, you can do the box.
I usually do the box.
I know. Like on your toes, yeah?
On my toes.
Okay.
No, I'm always on my toes.
But now I've seen you, so now, yeah. Just have me. Good job, Benny. Yeah, I started coaching in 2015, and I actually hadn't thought about being a coach. I had moved to a different gym at that point. The owner of that gym was like, hey, you want to coach here? And I was like, yeah, I don't know. As soon as I just committed to that, I got my level 1. Like, I just put full force into it and was like, all right, we're doing this. I do remember my first class. So I would like rehearse what I was going to say, which I still do now. I don't know, for some reason, being in front of everybody that first time, just out the window. Forgot everything. And I was like, I don't know what to do. Grab a barbell. But I mean, that's how it is with anything. You gotta start at the bottom. You gotta embarrass yourself. You just gotta go through experience. So the more classes I did, the better it got, the more confidence I developed. You just learn from mistakes. I'm like, if I can teach riding, if I can teach that skill, I'm like, I can do that with CrossFit. So I just put 100% effort into learning what I needed to know to apply it to people. I like the aspect of being able to have the information that I have in my head, give it to someone else and like have them do it, because sometimes I can say one thing to person A and it makes sense, but then I say that same thing to person B and it doesn't make sense. So I like the aspect of having to change my delivery so that person B gets it. I mean, I like teaching in general. I like giving my knowledge to someone else so that they can do it, but I like the intricacies of it too. And then of course seeing that person, them doing what I said, it's like, oh yes, got it.
That was it.
Yeah.
That was it. Exactly.
I like having different types of personalities, different levels of where people are at. I like my beginners, I like my middle of the road, I like my advanced. It's just challenging for me, but like in different ways to deal with different types of people. So I just like the challenge of it, and I like the reward, seeing them doing what I'm saying, and then their progression. That's cool that we're squatting though. Yeah. With any weight, or just air squats?
I've been squatting only up to like 185.
Only up to?
Well,
I know, but compared to your, yeah. Do you know what dragon flags are?
yes. Weird straight up.
Yes, but we can do it from the rig. Okay, you're gonna bring your toes up as high as possible.
Whoops.
And then think, keep the hip open as the legs come down. Yeah, slow, 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 slow. Dang. Did you see that? That was impressive.
That was harder than I thought it was going to be.
Alright, we'll do a couple regular hollow body pull-ups first, just to kind of warm it up. And then we'll see how your chest to bar looks. Watch your hollow, watch your hollow. Alright, good.
I can't get that low. I think I'm trying to get lower.
Yeah.
So then you're doing back to the arch to try to get it higher.
Make sure when you go to start, you don't initially go here and then hollow. It's hollow right off the bat. Getting out of the pool, like if you're swimming, you get to the edge of the pool, hands out at the edge, at the deck, and then push yourself down and then push up at the top. Like to stay in the hollow. Okay? That's it. So that was last February, so not this past, but the one before. So MK, we know MK here at the gym. She signed up for it back in February. I don't know how well she knew about it at the time, probably more than I did, but I didn't know what it was at all. I just knew it was a competition that had fitness and shooting. So I went to watch her, and I was just like, oh my god, this is amazing. Like, I need to do this. And like, I had shot before, I was familiar with guns, but not like, you know, I liked them, but it wasn't like a lot of practice. I liked that it was outside. I liked that it was in the dirt. I liked that it was just dirty, gritty. You'll start to learn I like things that are gritty. I didn't know it at the time, but the precision of shooting. So now I like that. I don't know, yeah, back then it was just grunt work. I don't know how to, just kind of have to watch it to kind of see. Like when I competed, the horses, rain or shine, it didn't matter. Like you were outside. The whole thing is just outside. I liked that appeal, I guess.
Yeah,
so that was February last year. March, I had no gear prior to that. So March, right after, I bought both my guns, a rifle, a pistol. I brought my belt, holster, vest, everything that I needed. Just swipe, swipe, swipe. But I was like, I'm gonna do. In March, also, I signed up for my first event. So I gave myself 5 months to train and prepare. Yeah, your heart rate's probably at least $150, 160, even 170, depending on what you're doing. And then you've got to steady that, hold your weapon, shoot, and then hit a target that's about that small. Let's do just the one pullover, and then when you're at the top, give me a couple dips. All right, nice. All right, give me 3 dips. Good, and then control down. Just do the one, control back to the start. We'll just do like 1 rep at a time. So on my count, I'm gonna grab you by the thigh, give you a boost, but you're doing most of the work though. Just think like an exaggerated chest to bar. All right, flexed. Oh, you went before I was ready. Sorry. All right, ready?
Please do not get in my way. You cannot drive in my lane. Tires is burning the pain. You don't have nothing to say. This is how legends are made. I know I got what it takes. And I'm not pumping the brakes, and I'm not pumping the brakes. I'm too competitive. I like the narrative that I'm the best in the league. Who you comparing with? That isn't competitive. Top of the throne, it is me. How you want this over?
Minute 1, max effort. Shoulder taps in the pike. Good. Max effort until your form breaks down. Form is going. So not really more than 30 seconds. Rest, and then same thing here. Okay. Starting the pike. Yep. So let me start the clock. That's better. There we go. Okay. Slow. That's it. Legs together. Yep. Push. 1 more. I know I lied to you. That's fine. All right, come down. All right, let's call it there. That's good.
Oh, jeez.
Nice job. So we got it on camera. Your good pull-ups and your chalk lines.
I know. I'll figure out. We should have had like a before, like first session. It's been a lot like the hollow body shift.
Yeah.
I could not do it before at all.
She's right.
It was pretty bad.
She's right.
It was like pretty bad body awareness.
She's made leaps and bounds with just understanding hollow body awareness, arch body awareness.
Yeah.
Like having it done on the floor, up on the bar, so it all kind of correlates.
Yeah.
Good work.
Yeah.
Honestly, not a whole lot. CrossFit actually was a big foundation for it. Like, I would strongly suggest doing CrossFit for Tata Williams or anything, to be honest. It's just a good general fitness. So, but the really only things I changed were I took out some of like the gymnastic moves because they're just not really necessary. But I added in lots of farmer carries or holds, sandbag work, holding your bag, getting up over your shoulder, climbing under and over things. Rope climb with the vest is different than rope climb without. All these stages or events are with the weighted vest on. So yeah, that was one thing. Added on 12 pounds. That was the weight you need to have. Sled work, just kind of more strongman-ish, grunt works type stuff. So that one is in Idaho. Drive up with me and Joe. We're going to drive up.
That's how you drive?
Yep. And then Friday is the athlete check-in. So they check to make sure your plate carrier, your vest. They check your rifle. They check your pistol. They just kind of make sure you've got the correct gear. They give you all your swag and stuff that they give you. Friday night, they send you the one more sleep email. The anxiety-fueled email, because it's like you get your squad number. You figure out what time you're going to go, like who you're with, and you get your workouts. So you don't know the workouts until Friday. Just be ready for anything. So you can train generally, but you can't train for specifically what you're going to do at that competition. 6 a.m. Saturday morning, there's a safety brief. Nick, he's like the main guy of the tactical games. He greets everyone. He kind of just goes over all the safety protocols. It is easy to get disqualified, so they're very big on safety. I mean, it's guns. And then we all go into our different stages because we're not all at the same time. Do the brief, and then that first heat, like right away, like no warm-up, you just go. So you can warm up prior to the brief, you kind of cool down, and then you gotta go again.
What's the workout?
Random shit. Put together a little final piece, nothing terribly taxing. So we're gonna do an EMOM, or every 2 minutes. So one, we're gonna climb the rope. Maybe just like 1 or 2 times. I'd say that's probably the only thing really where I notice the weight. As long as you got the foot clamp, it's good. You can tell the weight though, you can feel it. This guy, toss that bag over the bench, right? And then I'm going to crawl under the bench. Crawling under seems like it would be nothing, but it's something. All right, then we'll do a little farmer carry walk. Just for the record, that's the heaviest farmer carry I've ever done. 35, and 70 plus 25, 95, 180.
You doing math in your head is like a...
80 is like the weight for this in my level. And then we're going to go outside, and we've got the yoke set up. We're going to do hand release burpee. Hand release burpees are the thing in tactical games. Plus the bag over the yoke, and then knee over the yoke.
So I will be in the 40 plus this time. So there's level intermediate, which is like a beginner. There's tactical, which is like a middle. And then the 40 plus is also tactical, but you're just put into your age group. And then there's elite. So that would be like RX plus. Ideally, I would like to podium. That's always something I would like. If that doesn't happen, I want to see the work that I've put into this, which has been a ton. Well, because after my last event in February, I sucked. And I was mad about it. Like, that's my nature. If I need to do well at things. So if I didn't do well, back to the drawing board, train. So I've been putting a lot of work in from February till now. So I want to see that work pay off, especially in the shooting. Fitness is pretty okay. The shooting, yeah, I would like to see some improvement there.
The workouts don't look like much, maybe to the outside, but they're much. That's why I was saying earlier, like CrossFit is an excellent way to train for this. Just adding in some of the extra stuff. Say even if you didn't add in the extra stuff, you'd still probably be okay.
Well, I get that it looks intimidating. It's a lot going on. It is probably the simplest and most welcoming type of fitness that you could ever get yourself into. So even if you look, so like say you're watching the games and you're like, oh my god, they're doing all these like spinny things on the bar, and you're like, I can't do that. I can't even do a pull-up. Don't worry, it's cool. You walk into a gym, all the coaches there are gonna have have modifications for you, so they're gonna meet you where you're at. So they're not gonna make you do those spinny things. They're going to be like, hey, let's do ring rows instead. And you're going to be like, all right, cool. Yeah, I can do those. And then pretty much guarantee, like after that first workout, you're going to be like, wow, that was hard, but I did it. And then you're going to come back, and you're going to keep coming back. You're going to be sore, but then your muscles are going to get bigger. And then, yeah, you really can't go wrong with CrossFit. Plus, too, I feel like that feeling disperses out in your life. You're just in a good mood. You sleep better now. You're like, oh, I should probably eat better because I need to do better at this fitness. Yeah. Food is a big part, so I want to do that too. And then you're just like, oh, now I want to do the open. And you just like have all these options. It just kind of, it's like a gateway. It just opens things up.
It's our music choice for today.
Different. Country.
We'll hear you shout, drink your wine and howl at the moon. The rescue here, this girl is doomed. Dark sky and burning fire, I'm faster to escape these lies. Mountain water running free, take the bad luck away from me. Wind blows like the sailor in a breeze. Take the bad luck away from me.
No off season, kind of exactly what it says. Always training. Always
doing something.
on this, and on the one outside, this is the leg that's always bent. So when I crawl under, I kind of have this leg bent, this one straight. And when I go over that, this is the one that goes over. Because holster.
I don't want this to come across as any type of way, but if I'm in the middle of a workout, no matter what it is, or I'm at a horse show or whatever, and it's just suck fest, my brain is just like, you have to finish it. Just finish it. Like, it sucks, yeah, but like, just do it. She gave me a quote the other day. Don't waste your day. For some reason that she said it to me in a workout pretty recently too, and it just kind of switched my mindset. I was like, yeah, what am I doing this for? Like, come on, get on. Do it. Don't waste your day.